Hey everybody, it's Annette. Just wanted to touch base with you on this Friday evening and just update you, see what's going on. What are you getting into this weekend? It is so cold. I think we hit 15 degrees last night. It was supposed to be 18, and then tonight 32, and some better weather this weekend, I think. But regardless where you are, I hope you're having a safe and happy weekend. Today I wanted to talk about um, the differences in going out to eat as opposed to what it was, I think, pre 2020. It's just radically declined. I started getting disenchanted with it, I think, halfway into 2025. Prices obviously were going up, and then that would have been annoying enough. I think I could have maybe given a pass on that, but the portions were going down. So, for example, real life examples, Zaxby's, one of their favorite things is the garden salad, no meat. It's just that big garden salad. Last time we went during the holidays, it had decreased in size. So I'm spending, what, $10 for a salad that has no meat in it and then has decreased in size. And you don't leave feeling entirely full because a big salad is a big salad. it's primarily lettuce and they throw a few things on it. That's got to be a really big profit margin. The other place I stopped eating salads at, and for the most part altogether, it used to be every Saturday when I was running errands, Subway for lunch. Get 6 inch and then a drink and then the chips, and it was not too bad. And then I went one time, and it was like, I think when I started phasing Subway out, the exact same thing again, veggie delight, no meat, chips and the drink. It was close to $10 for just me. I'm like, this is ridiculous. And back in the day, you could get the salads at Subway, especially if you were trying to lose some weight and avoid some of the bread and some of the carbs. And the salads were a really nice size. The bowl is way, way smaller now. And of course, the price has not been reduced. So the last time I went to Subway was 2 weeks ago. I went in, ordered my sandwich only, took it out to my car, set my phone up in my dashboard, and just watched videos. Because I had my own drink in the car, had a big bottle of water with electrolytes. As much as like sitting in the restaurant and either playing games or reading a Kindle, I don't do that. So this year, after the start of the new year, because I'm so disenchanted with it, I've endeavored to utilize what we have at home, and I do have some things written down. I know I don't normally read off of notes, but for purposes of not going all over the place, I'll kind of read some of the things that we've done. We still do go out to eat. There is a restaurant near where I work, and it's a buffet. It's $11.99, but they have salmon on there. Some of the best baked salmon with the seasonings, and then the green beans with the seasonings, and just all kinds of really good fresh food. For $11.99, I will treat myself to that guilt-free. I always drink water at the restaurants. Number one, it's better for you. Now and then, if my stomach is hurting, I may get a Diet Coke, but 90% of the time, I'm going to order a water. So that's where I go to treat myself, and then my husband and I we've really limited our options are limited. A lot of the nicer restaurants that did have decent priced food at a good quality, ironically, those are the ones that have closed down or they're not open on certain days. And it's unfortunate because then you have all these other restaurants that are far less quality in food and in service, honestly. And I'm just trying to slow down on some of that eating out. So, for example, uh, the veggie crumbs that I get, I have a lot of these things at home, and you probably do too in your pantry. There's so much you can do. I made a vegetarian chili in a crock pot. So that's one bag of the crumbles, and then your kidney beans, and then your spices, all that. You should have all that in your cabinet, and ketchup. Well, obviously, with a crock pot, I have extra so I can freeze that. I always make a nice big cauldron of them, especially when it gets cold. It just feels so good and it tastes so wonderful and it's comforting going down. It's comfort food and I really like it. So I froze some containers of that and have been taking that to work to have a hot meal and to limit the times I would go out to eat or be tempted to go out to eat. Okay, and then I'm going to talk to you about, I'm just going down my list here. Ingredients, like for example, I saw one ingredient and I thought, what can I do with this ingredient to make a meal? So there was a container of coleslaw my husband had brought home. And I'm like, okay, we got coleslaw because, you know, you're trying to plan the dinner. What do you want to make? Cornbread and pintos. That's a southern thing. Coleslaw, pintos, and cornbread. I keep the cornbread mix. I had the pintos. The slaw was there. We had everything we needed. He got this well care box. I don't know if anybody else has gotten it either. He got a couple of those boxes, and they send random food items, snacks, fresh produce. So one of the things was 2 packs of chicken. And so what I did with that, I took that and for him made chicken salad using eggs from our chickens and then the relish and the stuff that you put in it. He can make sandwiches with it. I've not bought tuna salad pre-made, probably in 2 years. I used our tuna for that. So in that box, there were a couple cans of tuna. Because the tuna was further out on a date, I just swapped the 2 cans in my pantry, my backup pantry, with the 2 cans, the older ones I had in there, which were still within date range, plenty of time. Made tuna salad sandwiches, or if you're doing low carb, tuna salad. And I use the tuna, the eggs, the mayo, Duke's mayonnaise, salt and pepper to taste, and a little bit of apple cider vinegar. Then they sent him a bag of carrots, one big bag of the long carrots. I like the baby carrots for snacks, dip them in some ranch dressing that I might get those packets, and I got a plethora of those that I got at a really, really good buy. And then you get 1 tub of sour cream, make up your own ranch dip. Far less expensive than buying that now. I think it's like liquid gold in the South. Ranch dressing is ridiculous. So they were the long carrots. I'm like, what can I do with these? What can I do with these? I don't want them to go bad. So what I did, I cut them up. And then I put butter in them, brown sugar and cinnamon. I put them in the air fryer, 350 for about 25 to 30 minutes until they were cooked through. And then I had the glazed brown sugar, cinnamon carrots. They sent him 1 sweet potato. Once I got done with the carrots, I did the same thing with the sweet potato. And I actually had the sweet potato for lunch today. It was already made up, already cut up, already had been air fried. So I just had to heat it up in the microwave. I canned some tomatoes year before last. So I had tomatoes, but what could I do with the tomato soup base? I also had a bag of lentils, soaked the lentils overnight, added that, my tomato soup, 2 jars of that to the lentils to make a soup base, cooked that in a crock pot, had soup, and had soup to freeze. Coffee, I was going through coffee a little too fast. And then I was realizing, as ridiculous as this sounds, that I was always making more coffee than I drank. I'm the only one who drinks it here. So I'm scooping out exactly enough for 2 cups. I'm not going to go over 2 cups in the morning. So I've just scooped out enough of that. I made a bag of coffee, a peppermint bag of coffee I got at Walmart after Christmas. Made it last 3 weeks. It's just a standard little bag of coffee. So making my coffee stretch out further, saving some money there because coffee's gone out the roof. When it's on sale, then I get it. I think somebody had them. I think the Maxwell House has gone up redonkulous, the big cans of them. Well, they had them on sale at Ingles, and they were $9.98 about 5-6 months ago. I grabbed 3 of them, and those are big cans, and they'll last a long time. And just when I see something on sale, I grab it and stick a little bit back. It's the best thing to do is when you're walking through the store. It's the one thing about online ordering is that sometimes you're missing out on some of the little surprise specials they may have, or the clearance items, or the coffee creamer that is about to expire. You have another week on it or something, and they're marking it down to $2 or $3. Just, I find looking around the store sometimes is beneficial for finding those deals. So it depends on your time, depends on your schedule. If I'm going there anyway to pick up fruit, because I do keep fruit, I love my citrus fruit every morning at breakfast. So when I go get that, I'll just do a little loopy-loop around the store and see if I see anything that catches my eye that is something that we use that is on sale. So things to do to save money if you do go out to eat. I know this is not going to be popular with people, but if you're feeling it in your pocket and you're wanting to go out to eat for the experience, and maybe even the food, if you have a place that's got some decent food and service, you can find all 3 in one place: food, price, and service. One of the ways is to order water. And I can literally hear y'all groaning right now. Sodas are, on average, at most of our restaurants around here, $2.89 for soda. Tack on the tax and the tip to the bill, that adds up. The other thing is limit visits, or just don't visit. Limit your visits to the restaurant, but then if the restaurant that you have frequented, if it's something that you're not really married to, you just go there just to have something to eat and for convenience, but it's not really like your favorite restaurant, or it's not the experience that you really get a lot out of anymore. Limit that and find the places that you do like to go, and maybe less visits to restaurants, but when you do go, make it a visit that counts. My buffet that I get, I treat myself to twice a month. It's a Chinese restaurant. They got all the sushi and stuff. I don't eat that, but they have like everything. But they're the ones who have that incredible salmon. Look on any menu anytime you go. Next time you go out to eat, look at a menu and see how much salmon is. It's way more than any $11.99, and I'm getting all this other stuff too. It's amazing. Their green beans, I don't know what they do to them, but they're so good, and they have obviously all the other usual things and the most incredible hot and sour soup. So limit visits. If the restaurant is no longer doing it for you, if the price has gone up, portions have gone down, and the service is not what it used to be, break up with the restaurant. You don't have to, you're not bound to that restaurant. Find somewhere else. You may have to look around. It may be hit and miss for a few times, but find the restaurant that you do like. Look at the reviews. There may be a hidden jewel somewhere that you never even heard about, because a lot of these restaurants that are the big restaurants you see everywhere, everybody knows about those. But we have found some places like that, just looking for a place that might be off the beaten path or not as popular or not as renowned as your, I'm not going to call any names, some of your big name restaurants. And we have really had some wonderful experiences and wonderful food at these places. We went to one that is my favorite restaurant, and it's a special occasion because it's a little pricey, but they make their food fresh. And when we were driving by it, and I'm like, we've never gone to that one before, let's try it. It looked from the outside like it would be dumpy. On the inside, it's incredible. It's owned by this couple. They do food, the desserts, everything's fresh, and it's a buffet. It's some of the best food I have ever eaten, and they are so kind, and it's like being in someone's home. So the experience and even the price for special occasions is well worth it. I told you about the coffee already. So those are just some of my tips. Coffee, of course, I make it at home. If I do buy coffee, I don't know what's so taboo about like some of these gas stations that have the coffee machines that you can make a, cappuccino or French vanilla frappe or whatever they have. I'm not talking about your regular old gas station that's got regular decaf. I'm talking about the stations that have the frou-frou coffee. And even the frou-frou coffee, you just spend like maybe $3. You're going to some of these other places. What are you spending? 5, 6, 7? I don't even know because I don't go there. But I've heard they're very expensive now. So if you're going to treat yourself to a coffee when you're out and about or traveling or whatever, some of these big gas stations are pretty awesome with their choices on sodas. And you're not going to pay $2.89 for the sodas. And the coffees, you're not going to pay 5, 6, 7, 8. Somebody help me out because I honestly really don't know. Got a Starbucks gift card that somebody gave me a year before last. It's still sitting in my purse because I keep forgetting about it. I never go to these coffee places. So it's just kind of disappointing that the dining experience has really shifted in recent years. Back in the day, a Sunday was everybody meeting at your mama's house or your mom's house or whatever and having a big family dinner. It's still a doable thing for everybody to still meet up for a Sunday dinner and bring a covered dish. A lot of people don't do that now. They're all going in a million different directions. So I choose to, or I've made a conscious decision to stop wasting my time and my money on places that are just not going to satisfy me. I end up leaving being more annoyed when I have visited those places than I was when I got there and was a little bit, not hangry, but getting hangry. You got to think. I told you in an earlier video, even at Chili's, 3 for me for $10.99. That's great. But what they don't tell you is that if you substitute a bean burger, it's an extra $5 on that. So you just paid $16.99 for what would have been a $10.99 meal. So that's my personal decision. And you do what you want to do. These are just ideas to toss out there if you're trying to save money, or if you are just feeling the blah with the restaurants. Just, this is just not the excitement that it used to be. It's not the experience that it used to be. If you are in a place where you have the good quality, the good prices, bigger cities, I'm sure some of you guys got places you can go that you like. I'm just talking about rural North Carolina and what I've seen in my area. Love to hear what other people experience in their areas. And are you seeing the same thing that we've been seeing here? Services, yeah, and then the food is smaller. And if you've been ordering the same thing or whatever for a while, when it gets smaller. And obviously, the profit on carbonated soft drinks has gone out the roof. Interested in knowing what you're doing? Find one thing. Homework for the week. Find one thing in your house that you already have and figure out how to make a meal out of the whole thing. What can you do with that one item to make a whole meal at home? And if you do it, did you enjoy it? What were your thoughts? What did you like about it? What didn't you like about it? Hope y'all have a wonderful weekend. I'll talk to you later. Love y'all.